All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if this works. Believe it should. Looks like we're up and running. Outstanding. Let's see if I can figure out why I can't get back to. There we go. Oh, I don't know why you're seeing that screen. Hold on. You should be seeing me. There. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you coming in this morning. So I got Joe Mama, Soupy Sax, Shift Kicker. I'm going to have to look at chat on my phone. My eyes are getting bad. Hopefully they resolve pretty quickly and I can get this to work without having to do this. I got my surgery coordinated for August 15th, but it's getting to the point where I can barely see, so I'm going to have to be looking at that. Joe McBride, thank you for being here. BH Ringer, or BH Customs, thank you for coming in. I already said hi to Snoopy. Me just had to take away. He had to break away for a few moments. He's doing repairs to his truck, so he's got to be taking care and doing that. David Carlisle, thank you for coming in. Brown Sugar, thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys being here. Today's conversation should be a good one. As you see here, we're going to continue the conversation from last week. There was a lot of people that said that they really enjoyed this conversation. They would like to know more. So the primary component of today's conversation is going to be continuing to protect yourself about counterfeit coins, primarily looking at the tools that you can utilize. So building yourself a toolkit to do that, it's going to be really important to do so. I'm also going to go over very briefly looking at some slabbed coins. Now, after I talk about my slab coin that I have that's a counterfeit, I had somebody ask me, well, how do you know if you're looking at a slab if you don't have a computer or your phone isn't connected to NGC or PCGS? How do you identify that it's a fake? How do you identify that there's something wrong with it? And it's a really good question. So I put a couple of things together. I think you guys will really enjoy that as well. I'm hoping that it all comes together nicely and you're able to see some really good information. Find things that are beneficial to you because I think that if I can get things that are beneficial and I can get things that are kind of clear and easy to understand, really nice, easy, soft, simple tips, then you'll be better protected when you're looking at purchasing coins. So I got a good show in today. I really hope you enjoy this. I want to wait for just a couple more people to come on in. Again, I appreciate you coming in, saying hi. Siren, thank you so much for modding for me. I appreciate it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, with my eyes getting worse, for those of you, most of you know, I have cataracts. They've been pretty much rapid onset. So reading chat and seeing chat has been difficult for me. So 1 month, I'll be getting surgery. So looking forward to this. But I'll be able to get that taken care of and get that resolved and be able to focus on what needs to be done and then start seeing clearly again. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. So we got, see, Joe McBride, David Carlisle. Is there anybody I've missed? If I've missed you, I apologize. I really do appreciate the respect and the graciousness you show on my channel. So I'll give it about another minute or so, and then I'll go ahead and I'll kick on in because we got a lot to cover, and I want to make sure that we kick over to Will's Treasures at 10 o'clock to make sure that we start off the Premier Train. So no, I'm not necessarily tied to the Premier Chain, but I want to honor Matt and that group. So we'll be kicking over to them here in just a little while. All right, so I'm going to do me a favor. So up in the corner, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little box. So I'm going to go ahead and hop up there real quick. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go over and start talking about some of the little pieces of information. But it's important to understand a couple factors, a couple key items when you're looking at counterfeit coins. Well, actually, you know what? Before I go any farther, how is the audio coming in today? Is the audio coming in better? Because I know last week we had a little bit of quiet on the audio. I want to make sure that the audio is coming in nice and clear. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. That was really loud. I was standing right by the mic. Outstanding. Okay, thank you very much. So what's on the screen right now, and you can see it right down here, is that in 1973, people got smart. I was born, just history changed. And they passed what was called the Hobby Protection Act. And the Hobby Protection Act made it a requirement that if you're going to have, whether it be a teaching item, whether it be some sort of replication, whether it be some sort of copy of an original coin, then they had to have it stamped. So you had to be able to visibly discern between a forgery or a copy and the authentic piece. Before that, there wasn't a lot of requirement that protect numismatic folks, as well as stackers, right? Because a lot of stackers collect numismatic items, one for gold content, but the other one, a lot of people like the numismatic component of it as well. And so in 1973, things changed. So there were protections put in place specifically for the numismatic hobby. And it's important to be able to understand this when you're looking at coins, when you're looking at items, to look in the back and to determine whether or not they say copy. If they do in fact say copy, then they are one of two things. They are either a teaching tool or a teaching item to show people what the coin looks like and provide history and things of that nature, or it might say replication. It might be something where you can't buy the original because the original is, there are only 15 of them made, or there's only 5 of them made, like the V-nickel, where there are only 5 known. There's only 4, really. I think there's only 4 that they've been able to identify where they're actually at. And so because of that, if you want to have one or something of that, or a commemorative component to it, then they have to mark it copy or replica or something like that to indicate that it's not the original. And that was put into place to protect us. But there are other things that are out there, other legal requirements regarding forgeries and counterfeits that go into not only the numismatic realm, but into the currency realm as well. So I wanted to put this up to let you know that there are safeguards in place within our hobby meant to protect us. But the most you can do, the number one piece of advice that I can give you is this: caveat emptor, and that is buyer beware. And the buyer beware simply means that you need to pay attention to, you accept responsibility of your purchase. So you need to be able to understand what it is you're buying. You need to be able to be aware of the potentials for fakes. You need to put things in place to safeguard and protect yourself. Don't rely solely on the word of the person that you're working with. And we're going to get into things like trusted partners and how to test and things to look for, but there's a lot that has to do with being prepared and understanding what it is that you're looking for. In fact, that's my very next topic, or my very next item on here. And that is, if you're going to go purchase a coin, so for instance, I'm looking here at a peace dollar, and I'm going to go buy a peace dollar, and I want to go buy one in an NGC holder. Okay, I want to buy one that's taken care of. I want to buy one that's MS63, MS65. That's where my price point is. I want to know certain things about the coin, right? So I'm going to be looking at what's the coin's weight. I'm going to want to know what it weighs. So it's 1 troy ounce. I want to know, does it weigh 27.6 grams? Does it weigh 25.2 grams? What is the weight of the actual coin itself? The second thing is how does it sound? So if you do a ping test, are you familiar with the sound of the coin? It's important now. Not everybody has a ping tester. I don't have one. It's one of the things on the toolkit that I'm going to be talking about here in just a few minutes that I need to add to my collection, especially now that I'm getting into more numismatic silver and things of that nature, collecting Morgan's peace dollars and other items of that type. So there are 2 items in the kit that I'm going to be talking about that I don't have. And I'm doing this not only as a lesson to you, I mean, I'm learning, right? I've only been doing this a short amount of time. But as I identify things and shortfalls in what I do, I want to make sure I share them with you so that you learn from any mistakes or shortfalls that I have, so many of you don't have to face the hard lesson that I did. For instance, when I purchased the counterfeit trade dollar. Now, I put a video on that when I first was starting out. Thought I knew what I was doing, was smarter than everybody else. I got this, no big deal. I really didn't know enough about the coin. Got it home, didn't look right. Weighed it, didn't weigh right. Took it to a coin shop. They told me it was fake. Fortunately, I had put things in place to protect myself from that by making sure I had a guarantee return by the seller. But again, really understand what it is you're looking at. Knowledge is going to be the essence of your power, okay? So do your homework. Make sure you understand. If you're going to go to the store, or you're going to go to your LCS, or you're going to be buying online, and you're going to be buying a 2-cent piece, what does it look like? What are the details of it? What do the current fakes look like? If there are known fakes of that particular coin that have been found within the community, what do they look like? It's important to arm yourself with a lot of good information. Now, I'm going to go to this next piece, and I'm going to pop up my other camera here and show you guys something that I think is really important. So as you can see, I've got 3 slabs sitting here. And this is the other piece that I'm looking at. That's the peace dollar there. But I want you to be, let's put that way. So I want you to look at these particular items. Now, some of you in the audience will be able to look at these and say, well, matter of fact, let's do this. Okay, who out there in the stream would be able to look at this and say that this is the item that is real or this is the item that's fake? Is there anybody in here who thinks they have a good enough concept of what NGC slabs look like, or and these are all NGC, what they should look like, or are there any kind of kickers that you would see that would kind of tell you which one of these might be fake? Now, some of you may be able to do that simply by looking at it. You have enough experience, you have enough time in the trade. Some of you might own LCSs, live brick and mortar corn shops. Some of you may be people who work with YouTube primarily, but you have so many experiences and you've dealt with so much back and forth that you're just able to look at this information and figure out and discern which of these 3 coins it is. I don't have that information, so there's things that I need to look at, and I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned with you, not only from myself, but from others as well. Now remember, I want to remind you that if you're in chat, please make sure that you're entering stuff in chat periodically, because what I'm going to be doing is randomly selecting winners to give away things like Lincoln cents, maybe grams or 2 grams or 5 gram pieces of silver. I may be giving away a Walker or a Liberty, a vehicle or whatever it is. That's just going to be happening randomly. I'm not really going to give notification to the chat, so I want you to make sure that you're putting stuff in chat to make sure that you're getting the best opportunity to win. So again, make sure you're regularly typing something into chat. If you need to, just hit the little, so you can simply do. It's not letting me do it. That's okay. I'll have to get into the other one. I'm having issues with my chat, and this, for some reason, it's not allowing me in. But if you just simply hit a period and then hit enter, it'll register you still in the stream. But you do need to type some sort of text like, hey, here, smiley faces, perplexed mind. That's exactly right. Something like the little smiley emoji or something like that works. I don't think regular emojis by themselves work. I think some sort of text has to be included. But again, if you want to be in there, make sure that you're putting something in, because periodically I'm going to type in my command, and then it'll come out and it'll pick a winner for that particular giveaway. So you've had a little bit of time to look at this. Is there anybody in chat that would like to take a guess as to which one they think is fake? Some of you may have already seen me talk about this particular coin, so you may know. If you do, please go ahead, 1, 2, or 3. That would be great, just to see if anybody has any ideas. So while you're doing that, I'm going to say hi to Konzi. I'm going to say hi to Coin Junkie, Perplexed Mind. Thank you for coming in. Brown Sugar, Snoopy Stacks, I think I already said hi to you. Ringmaster Ray, thanks for coming in. I think that's everybody. Charles Latre, I appreciate you. Charles is doing some really cool stuff to help me out, so you guys will be seeing some good things in here. So I'm not seeing any guesses. So Brother Rat, no clue. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what to look for. Now, if you look on your screen right below me, you're going to see a little circle, and it's going to be talking about the edge, okay, of the encapsulation. Now, that's the first place I want to start, okay? So these are Frosty's tidbits, okay? So I want you to take this from a standpoint of this is what I recommend, okay? So when you're looking at the edge, there's one thing that's, I think is the telltale sign. And again, this is based off of my limited understanding of what's going on, but I have really worked really hard to provide you some good intel. If you look at this, you can see that there's a line running all the way around it. And the reason that this line runs around is when they put the two pieces of the thing together, they seal this, and they do that through ultrasonic sealing. And so it creates this little weld here, okay? If you look at this particular coin, you'll see the same thing, okay? But if you look at this coin, you're going to notice that there's a flat edge. There's nothing here. It's absolutely flat. But there's another telltale sign on this particular slab here. There's actually a couple telltale signs on this particular slab, and that's actually by design. But one thing you want to really look for is if you flip it to the bottom, you're going to see something that you should never see on a flip. Can anybody tell me what that is? That is a little finger hole. And the reason that finger hole is there is just like the normal coin flips. You can stick your finger in there, maybe, and I can open up this, okay? No slab should open up this easily. No slab should open up like this. If you find one like this, there's a couple good indicators. Number one, the coin is probably not real, or it's been switched. Somebody has nefarious purposes. It's a fake. But if you ever find one in this situation, do not purchase it. It could even be an authentic coin, but I doubt that the label is going to be correct. That is probably one of the greatest things that I can tell you if you're looking at slabs. The other thing is look for damage. Now, so the image that you see right over here, okay, that one actually has some damage where somebody has actually got in and cracked it. And then what they did is they actually opened up that particular item and they pop the coin out. They put a new one in its place, probably of lesser grade, lesser value, sealed it back up, and then glued the piece together. Okay, so it's really important when you're looking at this. Yeah, it's important to scan it, but you may scan a coin and it may come out to be authentic. It may come out to be real. So you want to look at damage. Damage to a flip or damage to a container, okay, an encapsulation is going to be a major red flag. Okay. Now, in this particular one, there's a couple other things that are specific to this that have been put here, and that is the U.S. Mint sign. There's never going to be a U.S. Mint slabbed item. They're going to be slabbed by NGC, PCGS, ANAX, and they are not going to put a sticker that says U.S. Mint, nor are they going to put a certificate of authenticity on the slab. So if you find this kind of stuff, these are good indicators and good markers that this is in fact a fake coin. Now, why is this so important? Because if you scan this particular coin, now I want you to know that we got with Mid-America Coins and Coin Crew, and we did actually report this particular forgery to NGC, had that number actually taken off. So if you want to scan that, you can actually pull it up. You'll see that the image has been removed. But this is something like a $25,000 coin. Okay, and so it's important to really understand, because you could lose a lot of money. You could end up with a lot of issues should you end up purchasing a coin such as this. In many cases, that dwarfs what people normally spend on coins. So if you're making a major purchase, please, you're going to need to focus on another item. Now, I don't want to really talk too much about the slabs anymore, because that was just kind of a quick show and tell to make sure people understood what it was that they need to look for in this particular fashion. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the toolkit that you need to establish. Now, the toolkit that you need to establish, number one, outside of doing the homework, is have a trusted partner. Have people that you can rely on. Have people that you can talk with. Have people who have been in the hobby, who understand what they're looking for. Look for people who have good processes in place. Look for people who have no problem saying that's fake. No problem saying that's not real. You want to be able to have people in your corner who will give you the hard truths, no matter how uncomfortable they are. Sometimes it's difficult to have people like that. I have one of those in my life. Her name's Paula Bloom. I will show Paula Bloom something and say, check this out. She's like, that's fake. Hey, look at this variety. That's damage. It's no holds punch, or no punches held. Why? Because she wants me to be protected. She wants me to provide the best information that she can. Now, she doesn't do it just simply for me. She does it for a lot of people. Live Coin Q&A. Okay, a great channel. If you're not subscribed to them, go do so. I work a lot with Coin Crew. Mr. and Mrs. Coin Crew have been really, really good to me. They're very knowledgeable. They're very open with me up front. We've done a lot of business together. I completely and utterly trust them. They are people in my side that I would do anything to make sure that I was providing them good information about what I was going to do, what I was going to buy, and then they would let me know whether that was sound, whether my judgment is off, or they might even give me specific things to look for to avoid getting into trouble. So make sure that you have a trusted partner. It's also good to have somebody that you can come alongside with that is either a distributor, that has a jewelry store, and yeah, jewelry stores can authenticate a lot of stuff. They have the testing, things like that, where they can actually put stuff into the machines and test the quality of silver or gold and things of that nature. So you can go to jewelry stores to have things, the silver, gold content, so on and so forth, authenticated. So there are things to have in place. But again, even with trusted partners, when you're dealing with things of high dollar value, don't let them out of your sight, right? Make sure that you keep them in view at all times. Now, the same goes if you're a buyer. Okay, don't go to a place and go, oh, I'm going to put this in my lap, and talk to you about it. Then I'm going to lift it back up and then I'm going to put it back on your table. Don't do that, okay? Because that brings question to mind. Well, did they switch the coin? And if there's ever an issue with the fake, so if I pull this down and I lift it back up, it'll be easy for them to say, well, they changed out the coin. So don't ever put yourself into a situation where your integrity is questioned. Make sure that you're on the up and up. Always keep things on the table in front of them. Try not to have too many coins out when you're looking at coins at one time. Most coin collectors or coin shops will limit the amount of items you can pull out at a single given time because they want to maintain control over that. But don't do it for yourself. It's too easy for things to go up and you to lose track and focus on what you're actually paying attention to. Again, when you're going to a coin shop or coin show or something like that, do the research of the coins you want to buy ahead of time. If you're going to go just to look, that's fine, but still have a good understanding of the basis of what it is that you want to look for. Okay, the next thing is actually putting together the toolkit, and this is probably one of the things that I think I have undersold myself on. I have some of these, but I don't have all of these, but I recommend that you have these items that I'm going to be providing to you. If you want to write this down, write it down. If you want to come back and watch this later, you can watch this later. What I will do is at the conclusion of this, I will make sure that I put some timestamps and I will pin them to the top of chat to make sure that I share that information so you can know where some of these items are and you can refer back to it, specifically around the slabs and in any specific tool or links thereof. Now, I seen Miss Coin Crew come in. Thank you for coming in. They have a link to the ping testers I'll be talking about here in just a few moments. So if they want to go ahead and throw that in chat, they can go ahead and do so. But again, the general prices that I'm giving you, they range from low to high. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them at local coin shops. Where you get them, do your research. I'm not going to promote any one given area, but I just want to kind of talk to you about making sure that you have some of these in place. Now, I have a set of calipers, but I also have one teenage boy and one young adult man who still live at my house. And because of that, I don't know where half my tools are. So it doesn't really do me any good not to have it in front of you, but I do want a set of calipers, and a caliper is one of your best tools for identifying fakes. You're going to be able to do a couple of things with calipers. Number one, you're going to be able to meet 2 of the 3 requirements that I talked about earlier, and that's checking the thickness of the coin, and that's checking the diameter of the coin. Calipers are going to give you a good reading by which to make sure that you're within tolerance. Now, it's important to understand if they talk about the diameter of a coin being 32 millimeters and the thickness being 6.2, that you need to look at what their tolerances are. There's a plus or minus tolerance, but just because it's out of tolerance in thickness doesn't necessarily mean that it's counterfeit. Just because it's out of tolerance in a diameter doesn't necessarily mean that it's a counterfeit. They could be varieties. They could be on the wrong planchets. There's a number of different reasons why that could be the case, but it's important for you to arm yourself because these, along with some of the other tools that I'm about to show you, will really set you up for the best success. Now, the next one is something that everybody should have. Now, I've got mine here, and I got this. I think it's probably like, I think I paid $16 or $17 for this particular one. But what I like about this particular one is that this one actually came with a cheat sheet. Now, this cheat sheet, and I know you can't see it very well, but what I'll do is I'll provide some details below. Maybe I'll take a couple of photos and make a short specifically on this particular cheat sheet. But it talks about the different items. It talks about their potential weight. So if you want to look at a 1982 Lincoln cent, it's going to tell you that it's 3.1 grams. However, if you're going to be looking at a 1983, it's going to be 2.5. So when you're searching for those copper 83s, you're going to want to make sure you're looking for that 3.1 grams. So it's important to understand and have this kind of resource available to you when you're utilizing something like a scale. Now again, just because a coin or a round is slightly off doesn't mean that it's counterfeit. Okay, you're not going to be able to utilize just one of these strategies to determine whether their coin is counterfeit or not. You have to utilize a couple of these. Now, there are some things that are blaringly obvious. We talked about this last week. One of those being a coin that is out of date. If you find an 1899 Lincoln cent, it's fake. Okay, it's not within the run. Lincoln cent started in 1909. If you find one that supersedes that by a good number of years, you guarantee that it's fake. But have something like a scale in place, have things together like this. Now you can get more expensive ones. This is cheap. I have one that I utilize for food that's actually even better. It's much more attuned. It has a much better tolerance level and doesn't have near the variability that this little one does. But this one's really nice because I can stick it in my back pocket when I go to a coin show or when I go to a coin shop, and I can pull this stuff out. Now I'll tell you, if you go to a coin shop and you pull something like this out and they question you, just tell them it's caveat emptor, right? Buyer beware. I'm protecting myself. They have a lot of these tools. You can ask the coin shop and things like that to test them. Doesn't mean that you're challenging that they're going to provide you something fake. Just let them know that you're covering the bases, not only for you, but for them. Because they don't want to sell you, in many, many cases, they don't want to sell you something that's fake. And a lot of times, if you present them a fake coin like this one, a lot of people will not give it back to you. The only time they'll release it back to you is if they contact the authorities, and then they can determine what happens. Because if it's trying to be passed off as real, it's a counterfeit. Okay, there's a difference between forgeries and counterfeits. If you're trying to pass something off as real, it's a counterfeit. Okay, so understand the nuance there. The next thing you're going to want to make sure you put into place is a neodymium slide. And this is a magnetic slide. It's a rare earth magnet. And this is extremely important, especially when you're dealing with items like silver. Now, I will say this. They don't always work. And the reason they don't always work is because not every piece of material that you're going to be utilizing works on this particular coin slide. For instance, gold. Okay, the reason that this coin slide works is because it's bimagnetic, or dimagnetic, excuse me. So silver's non-magnetic, but it is dimagnetic. And so what happens is when you put the slide at a 45-degree angle and you slide the coin down, there are currents that are in place. Okay, so when you think of the poles being north-south, okay, this is how magnets align. In dimagnetic, they are 180 degrees. They oppose each other. So when you slide this down, what's going to happen is it's actually going to basically hit the brakes. And as the coin starts to slide down, where am I going? As the coin starts to slide down, it's going to have eddies. It's going to have resistance. And that resistance is going to cause that particular silver to slide slower than it would if it were iron. Or if it were iron, it would probably stick to it. But let's say copper. Now, copper is also dimagnetic, but it doesn't have the same basic properties and will slide faster than silver. So while you're utilizing one of these, you need to play with it a little bit, play with different types of silver coins, identify how they slide. Don't just grab one, use it, never seen it before, and then put it on there and expect to understand what's going to happen. Actually test it a couple of times with some of your coins. Okay. Now, when handling your coins, I recommend you test them with older varieties. If you have an MS65 that's in a flip, don't open it up and be sliding it down there. Okay. You can do so in one of these. It'll slide pretty fast still because the plastic will prevent the eddy current from slowing it down. But be paying attention to that because it is something that you want to focus on. But don't pick up a tool thinking you're immediately going to be an expert at it. Play with it a little bit and understand what it is. Okay? Jack Gallman, thank you for being here. Man, I see a lot of people in here. Roxille, appreciate you coming in. Thanks for gracing the chat. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Now, this is another one of the tools that I do not have. And this is a shame on me. This is one of these that you should have with you. Anytime you're going to go buy something from an individual, from an LCS, test it, right? It's not a big deal, but you want to make sure you're testing the authentication of something that you're buying. Now, the ping testers are really important. Now, earlier I said sound. Now, sound is an important thing because you need to understand the differences in the sound. But you need to understand that the calipers come into play too, because different thicknesses and different diameters will have different tonal ranges. And those differences in tonal range will affect whether that particular sound plays to that particular coin. Now, there are apps that you can get on your phone where you can take the ping tester, turn on this app, ding, ding, ding. You do 3 tones, and then it'll tell you, come back whether it's authentic or whether it's not. And it'll tell you whether it's in the scale or whether it's not. Just like a Sigma would tell you, if you put this coin on a Sigma, and it would tell you if it's in the green range, indicating that it was authentic. So it's really important to understand, but it's important that you arm yourself with the tools. But again, don't pick it up the first time and say, oh, the ping tester, I can tell, I'm smart, I got this. Make sure you practice with a couple different coins, because even coins like Libertads that are 85 to the newer ones, they're different thicknesses. The different thickness is going to have a different tonal quality. That tonal quality, you need to make sure you understand what it is and what it sounds like in order to truly authenticate whether it is or is not authentic. So again, the ping tester is one item from my kit that I'm absolutely missing. This is one that I'll be picking up probably by week's end. I'm not sure if they've done it yet. See, Happy Chappy, thank you for being here. But Coin Crew, Miss Coin Crew, if you're in the chat, no, Miss Coin Crew is, but if you have that link to the ping tester, if you could put that in chat, that's great. If not, then let me know, and I'll make sure that we get you a good link to ping testers. Now, not all ping testers are equal. There is one thing that you really want to make sure that you have on a ping tester. You want to make sure that you're not utilizing the one with the hard plastic ends, okay? Make sure you're utilizing the ones that either have the soft rubber overset, okay, so you can slide them onto the hard plastic ends, or by the ones that are the rubber end, the flexible rubber ends, because you don't want to be pushing on this and having it inside your coin, because if you pull it across, you could inadvertently put an indentation in your coin across your field. You could inadvertently cause a scratch or other damage to the coin. So you want to make sure that you protect it as much as you can. The other one is, I know it's a really simple thing. Anybody who's used a safety pin pretty much knows, or it's not safety pin, what are they called? Safety pin is the one that you stick in your clothespin. Okay, anybody who's used a clothespin knows how to use a ping tester, right? You click on it, the thing opens up, you slide it in, let it go. Don't rip it off. Open it, take it out, okay? These little things will protect the quality of your coin. You want to avoid damage at all cost. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. And then what I've done here, and if you want to take a screen capture or do something with that, these are going to be what I would consider the top tools and tips. This is basically what I've talked about. This is kind of wrapping it up. If you put into place these items, not necessarily in order, but definitely start with the first two, okay? Knowledge is power. Making sure you understand the coin that you're looking for, the gold that you're looking for, the silver round that you're looking for, the numismatic piece that you're looking for. Find fakes, whether it be online, go to a coin shop. Coin shops, sit down with them and say, hey, I want to learn about fakes. I want to learn, what do they look like? What do they feel like? What do they sound like? Arm yourself with a knowledge of what the fake is. When you look at like the FBI and you look at the people who monitor counterfeits and forgeries, they study fakes because they understand what the original one, they know what the fake looks like, they know what it feels like, and they know because they handle the original all the time, but they know when it's not that original. Handle the coin, know what it feels like, but get familiar with the forgeries, get familiar with the fakes. And it's going to be important to not arm yourself because, as we talked about last week, technology is making it very, very difficult to detect. People are getting smart. They're utilizing the silver. Maybe they might be 75% silver, but they're building silver intolerances utilizing fake castings to produce coins that look very, very good, that are within the tolerances, but just are off. They're outside of tolerances enough in enough areas to warrant the fact that they're counterfeits. As technology increases and the economy becomes more temperate, this is going to be a major factor. So really make sure you arm yourself with knowledge. Okay? The best way to do it is to get out there and do it. Now, I do know we have a couple people in chat who have told me a number of times, I'm 200 miles away from my LCS. I get it. So find a trusted partner. Find somebody that you can go to and say, hey, do you have counterfeits like these, right? That are documented, that are labeled. I have the trade dollar still that I got. It's been marked that it's fake. I have an 1870 cent Indian head that is fake. Whenever you put it under the microscope, I do it to specifically show the date and show how horrible the scroll work and the lines are, to show you how soft of a strike it is for such a clear image. There's so many things to show, and you can see the casting of the actual sand in that one because you can see all the grain throughout the coin as well. So become very, very familiar with the items that you're going to be buying. Okay, that's number one. That's the best piece of advice that I can give you, is understand what the fakes are. The second thing that I'm going to go over again is caveat emptor, buyer beware. I don't want you going around thinking everybody's going to rip you off, okay? But have the knowledge and the understanding of what's out there to protect yourself, just to make sure that you don't. Now, there have been coin shops who inadvertently had fake coins, okay? A coin shop, if it ever happens at a coin shop or at a coin show, get the business card, get their telephone number, right? When you make a purchase at a place like that, communicate with that buyer. Make sure you have their information so that if anything were to ever go wrong or you were able to identify it, keep your receipts, things of that nature. Okay, receipts are very important when you're looking at this particular item because it validates where you got it from. And then the last one that I can really give you is find yourself a trusted partner. Now, we have a few in this community. Again, I have a number of people that said, hey, Frosty, I'm 250 miles from my closest LCS. I can't just jump in the truck and go, for 10 minutes and then be at a shop where I can hand this to. This is where you can get with channels like Live Coin Q&A or Coin Help You and say, hey, this is what's going on. Show them good quality photos. Tell them exactly what it is that you're looking for. Show them what your concern is. Walk them through the pieces and say, this is what my concerns are. Can you validate, or can you say that I'm okay? Can you tell me that it's good, or is it something that I need to send back? Be okay with sending it to them. They'll return it. Again, trusted partners, right? Say, hey, I really have this. Looking at it, it looks real, it feels real, it smells real, it tastes real. Don't be like in your cards. But I need somebody to really understands to look at this coin and validate. Send it to them. Return shipping, obviously, but send it to them and make sure that they look at it. They'll do that for you. We've got Coin Crew, they'll look at the stuff for you. Blue Ridge Silverhand often has people send stuff into him. Sean's a good guy. And they'll take time and look at it for you. So find yourself a trusted partner. Communicate with them. But I think that's kind of one of the most important things. And then these other 4 items that are here, is keep those in a kit, right? And you should be able to stick them in a small little bag or something that you could carry around with. You know that they have the small little lunch bags. They have the little strap on them. You could throw your calipers and stuff in here and take those to a coin shop or take those to a coin show and pull them out. Not a problem. Again, I don't think most people are going to have an issue if you say you want to test the coin. Now, if it's a high grade coin, something of that nature where it comes in a slab, look at the slab, look at the outside, look for the cracks, do that kind of stuff. But if they don't want you testing the coin, or if they don't have one, then work with somebody else at the coin show who does. See if they have somebody that can walk with you. They hold the coin, not you. They hold the coin, they hold the slab. Take it over, have them tested if you're concerned about it. But protect yourself. But the last one that I want to share with you, before I kind of open it up and just kind of get into chat in the last 10, 15 minutes that we have, is don't you ever, 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 ever let anyone try to guilt you into making a purchase. Okay? If you feel like they are just pushing you and pushing you and pushing you, it's okay to walk away. Okay? That is a slogan that I learned a long time ago when I was buying cars. It's okay to walk away. If you're not getting the deal that you want, now, fair deal. Okay? Don't go in and go, all right, so we got, I got an MS65 1925 piece dollar, and I'll give you $35 for it. There's no way they're going to do that. They can't meet you that. But don't let them sell you a coin that you don't want. Don't allow them to do that. Walk away. Just simply walk away. Okay? It's okay to say no. So it's okay to walk away. Just remember those lines, okay? Because I think a lot of times people purchase stuff because people talk them into it. But if you haven't done your research on the homework, or if you haven't done your homework on the item, you don't understand what it is that you're looking for, then don't jump into it. All right? Unless you can call your trusted partner. If you can call your trusted partner, it's like, hey, Keith, I'm at a coin shop. There's a deal I can't pass up. This is what's going on. Can I put you on video chat? Hey, check this out. What do you think? Well, let me talk to the owner. Let me talk to the shop. Let me talk to whatever. Have them have the conversation. Ask questions. Do whatever. It's okay to do that. It really is okay to do that. Because it's all about safeguarding yourself and making sure that you have the things in place to have what you need to safeguard and protect yourself. Okay? So finally, I'd like to open it up to chat and see if there are anything particular to chat that anyone would like to discuss. And then I'm going to get out of my box because it's a little tight up here. And I'm going to go hang out down back here in the corner. So hold on just a sec. And all right, there we go. All right, so now I'm back down here. I got a little bit more room to work with. So are there any questions? Now, moderators, you're going to have to help me out because while I'm going through this stuff, I really haven't been looking at chat. So are there any questions in chat that I've missed, or is there anybody with a comment or something that they would like to ask? We have some people in here who are very, very knowledgeable. We have some people in here who would be able to get information. If they don't have the information readily available, they'll be able to share that information with you. But is there anyone, let's see, I'm going to come over here because I've got to come close to look. Brother Rat, that's a really good one. What is everybody's favorite coin ping test app? Go ahead and enter that into chat. Let's see, Miss Coin Crew says, it's fun yet hard working with the shop. I want to keep everything, yeah. Yeah, I definitely can see that. So EMR Corn says Ping app is the one that they use. What about anybody else? Is there anybody else that uses a Ping app that they would recommend other than the one that EMR states? And welcome in, EMR, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and shift this over just a hair because I am I have to look this way to read chat. Thank you for throwing in the links, John. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, so that's the only one that I'm seeing. I haven't done a lot of research on the app, so I can't really speak to it. Again, I don't have a ping tester. Shame on me. But again, these are things that I'm learning along with many of you. So as I learn information, as I get information, I want to make sure that I'm sharing it appropriately. I will be buying a coin test app. Okay, I will be buying a ping tester. I will be buying a slide. And I will be taking those things when I go to make purchases on coins. I need to clean up my garage and find out where the heck all my tools are, what my sons have done with them. But that is something that I'm going to be doing. But again, I strongly recommend that you put yourself a good toolkit together to protect yourself against counterfeiting. Now, if we have about 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of monitor chat for a few minutes, and then we're going to be heading over to Brother Rats here in about 5-6 minutes. Or not Brother Rats, sorry, Will's Treasures, for the Premier Train. So we're going to go ahead and fire everybody off over to there. So if you haven't been on the Premier Train, there's some great channels that do these 15-minute videos. They do the transitions, and they go premiere to premiere to premiere to premiere. We have a couple really cool people in there. Ringmaster Ray's in our chat. We have Miss Coin Crew in there. We have Mad Stacker, Will's Treasures. We have Everyday Opportunity. Who else is in there? Who am I missing? Who else is in the Premier Train? I'm missing somebody. I know I'm missing somebody. Silver Bull 30's in there. So we got Silver Bull 30. Am I missing anybody else? I think that's about it. Yeah, I already said Silver Bull 30. I think that's it. There may be somebody else I may be missing. But yeah, got Mad Stacker. Yeah, got Will's Treasures. So it starts with Will's Treasures. And then from Will it goes to Silver Bull. And then from Silver Bull it goes to Mad. Then from Mad it goes to Ray. And then from Ray it goes to EC, I think. And then EC goes to Miss Coin Crew. I may have that wrong, but anyways, that basic format. Wild West stacking, that's the one that I was missing. I knew I was missing one. Thank you for that. But go check that out. It's a really cool thing. I really like the idea. They bring different pieces to it. There may be metal detecting. There may be pouring. There may be slabs. There may be new releases. There may be typeset coins, whatever they want to talk about. A lot of good information on this Premier Train. So every Saturday, I'm going to be leaving from here. We're going to go straight over there. Again, I'm not kicking off the Premier Train. I don't want everybody thinking that I'm the engineer and I'm leading this. This is not how it is. It just works out that my channel, this particular stream ends at the start of the Premier Train. So I want to make that evidently clear. I don't want people thinking that I'm the conductor and then Miss Coin Crew is the caboose. That's not how that works. The start of the Premier Train is with Will's Treasures. So real quick in chat, if I can, is there anybody that had any comments, questions regarding the information that has gone over today? Is there anybody who's like, well, that's not entirely correct information, Frostbite? Please let me know. I'm going to do this. Again, I told you guys to be entering into chat because I periodically will do this. So Shift Kicker, congratulations. Okay, I got something for you. If you will send me an email, then I will make sure that I get something out in the mail today. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming in. Jack Gallman, thanks for coming in. Snoopy, as always, I appreciate you. Hashtag Lady Stackers. You guys have done a great job over there. A lot of fun. A lot of great ladies doing some good stuff over there. A lot of St. Jude stuff happening. We got St. Jude rolling out. If I can have somebody put in, next time I need to be a little bit more prepared. I'll be more prepared for this tomorrow. There's a link if you want to go over to Ida Herring's channel. If I can have JJ put in Ida Herring's channel, go over their community page. Please check out their or her link to St. Jude. They have the page up for St. Jude, so if you want to do cash donations, you can start doing that now. Ida is accepting items for St. Jude, so please, please, please make sure that if you're going to be sending stuff, send it over to her. If for some reason you're looking at the checklist and the stuff isn't there, please understand that it's probably going into the silver box, the big giveaway box. There will be a list of the items in that silver box. And then if you donate a high ticket item, they're going to do a special item that is designed for the big players that we're bringing in this year. There'll be more information to come on that. But anyway, thank you for putting that in there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll do me a favor and throw in, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you for being here, lurking as always. Another, again, Livecoin Q&A, another awesome person in that group who is so willing to help out, a great and trusted resource. Amanda and Paula, Shannon, Andy, who am I missing? Greg and Shay. Or not Greg, Sean and Shay. Just a fabulous team of people who really are very, very knowledgeable. So if you will do me a favor and let's go ahead and throw in the link to Will's Treasures. Let's go ahead and get this all started, all prepared. We will jump all aboard on the Premier train. That'll start here in approximately 4 more minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you gracing my page with your presence. Thank you for supporting the live stream. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. If you're in the channel and you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing a special event tomorrow. It's going to be the 54th anniversary of the Apollo 11 launch. I'm going to be going over the 50th anniversary commemorative coin, but I'm going to be talking a little bit about the tumultuous times within the 60s, some of the great things that happened in the 60s, and wrapping it up with some footage from the Apollo 11 launch and moon landing. So please join. Hope you come by, check it out in the morning. If you're into the space program, I promise it won't disappoint. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbite. Let's head on over to Will's Treasures and hop aboard the Premier train. Take care, be blessed, and as always, have a wonderful day.